Welcome, everyone, to this deep dive brought to you by the Art Business Podcast. Today, we're going to be focusing on the legacy of Malaysian artist Roslisham Ismail. His work has had a big impact,
Absolutely.
both within the art world and beyond. We want to keep his memory alive. And, for all you art students and aspiring artists out there, maybe spark some inspiration. With his really unique approach to art.
His work was incredible.
Yeah.
I always think back to how he could just really capture the pulse of a city, that vibrant energy of urban life.
Yeah.
And he translated that into art in a way that was just so unique.
And
He used things we encounter every day.
It's interesting, right? Because he didn't use
like comics, food packaging,
fancy things,
ads, things that, could easily fade into the background, but he made us really see them.
Yeah, and I think one of the best examples of that is his Secret Affair series.
Yes. Brilliant.
Now picture this, right?
Yeah.
Refrigerators.
Yeah.
Ordinary refrigerators. But they're on these pedestals. And they're filled with a week's worth of groceries.
Wow.
From an actual family.
Yeah.
Such a simple concept, right?
Yeah, it is a simple concept. But it goes so much deeper than that. It becomes this fascinating glimpse into daily life. A secret box revealing, a family's habits.
Oh, wow.
Their values, even their economic status. It's social commentary disguised as something familiar.
Refrigerator as a secret box. I never thought of it that way. It's
But it's so true.
Yeah, and this whole focus on food and family wasn't just for show with him.
Right,
this was deeply personal.
Yeah.
He even went on to create a whole cookbook project dedicated to his grandmother and traditional Malaysian cuisine.
Yes, he did, and it wasn't just a collection of recipes.
Right.
The cookbook included stories from his grandmother, photos of her kitchen, even illustrations of the traditional cooking techniques. It was a true labor of love. It honored both the food and the woman behind it. And, it actually echoes themes of identity and cultural heritage that we see in Secret Affair.
That's so much.
It's like both of these. Explore the idea of everyday choices revealing something much deeper.
Yeah. And I love how he kind of wove these themes throughout his work.
Yeah.
And speaking of exploring different perspectives, he had this really fascinating Facebook investigator persona.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. Ismail was fascinated by people, how we present ourselves online, the little social bubbles we create, and how they reflect who we really are or who we want to be seen as.
That's so true. It makes me think about how he actually left those refrigerators unlocked.
Oh, yeah.
In Secret Affair.
He did.
I mean, wasn't that a little bit risky? What if someone had, tampered with them or something?
It was a bold move for sure. But I think it speaks to his desire to break down those barriers between art and the audience. Invite them to become part of the experience.
Right.
The menu book, the fridge magnets, it all encourages you to engage, to reflect on your own choices and stories.
I see. So it's less about the objects themselves and more about what they represent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That reminds me of his collage work, NEP.
Yes.
Which tackled the very serious issue of loan sharks in urban communities.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that piece?
Yeah, the NEP collage wasn't just visually striking. It used newspaper clippings and actual loan shark flyers.
Wow.
To directly expose these predatory lending practices that often target, vulnerable communities.
Yeah.
He didn't shy away from tough topics at all. He used his art to provoke thought and conversation.
He wasn't afraid to.
Yeah.
Take risks and kind of push those boundaries.
He really wasn't.
And yet at the same time, he also had this really strong collaborative spirit. From working with Singaporean families for a Secret Affair to partnering with a chef for the cookbook, it seems that
collaboration was key for him.
Collaboration was very central to his process.
He understood that bringing diverse perspectives to the table not only enriches the creative process, but also amplifies the work's impact. It's about shared experiences, different voices contributing to a larger conversation.
He was such a gifted storyteller, too.
Oh,
he used photography, videography. I even heard that he created many documentaries about the families involved in Secret Affair.
Yeah.
Really burn his ideas to life.
Yes, visual storytelling was definitely his strength. He understood that images can communicate complex ideas in a way that words sometimes can't. It makes art more accessible, more engaging, and ultimately more impactful.
So as we reflect on the legacy of Roslisham ise, we see this really beautiful tapestry woven from these threads of urban life, cultural heritage, and genuine human connection.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
He gave us installations that sparked conversations, collaborative projects that bridged communities, and visual narratives that just captivated our imagination.
His work leaves us with a challenge, I think, an invitation to look at our own lives and ask, what seemingly ordinary object holds a story waiting to be told? What everyday element could become a powerful tool for expression or even social change?
Wow.
I encourage you to explore Roslisham Ismail's work and discover how his unique approach to art might inspire your own creative journey.